Welcome back to another episode of Free to Play Fish with me, yours truly, your host, Krim, also known as the Asian Avenger. Today we're playing Auras of Majesty, which is a Selesnya, which means green and white, and it is all about putting on pants on all your creatures, meaning you'll take this Greenwood Sentinel, a 2-mana 2/2 with Vigilance. Not that big of a deal. But then when you equip it or enchant it with things like On Sarah's Wings, which makes it so that it becomes legendary and gets 1/1 in flying and vigilance and lifelink, or Prodigious Growth, which gives it +7/+7 and trample. There's a lot of synergies along the way with this deck while you're trying to turn all your small threats into Smork Town beatdown machines, like Satyr Enchanter, which makes so you draw a card every time you cast an enchantment. Once again, that is upon cast, meaning that the enchantment doesn't even have to resolve and you'll still draw the card. And of course, you've got Novice Knight, which is a 1-mana 2/3 with Defender, which loses Defender once it's enchanted with something. And you have Danitha, which makes auras and equipment spells you cast cost 1 generic mana less. So there's some synergies here, so we're going to just try to turn all of our small threats, as I said earlier, into a Smork Down beatdown threat. And as you all know how these videos go, we're going to play our first 3 matches with an unmodified deck, so you have an idea, just a general idea of how the deck plays, and then we'll see what we can do after. Well, let's not hold you up any longer. Let's go straight to the games. Round 1. Time to start spell casting. Let's do this. Ooh, a 1-drop. As long as this is enchanted or equipped, it can attack as though it didn't have Defender. Boy, oh boy, guess I'll equip this Luminous Bonds. I think I'll try this. We're on the draw. We'll be fine. I mean, we have kind of removal. As long as it's not some kind of static effect like a, I don't know, Merfolk Mistbinder, it should be fine. This being a 2/3 means this doesn't die to shock, which is nice. Alright, so we have the good old curve of 1, 2, and kind of 3, so we'll see if they have anything. This card is interesting. I randomly run into it online, and people do some Christmas Land stuff with this, and boy oh boy do I love going to Christmas Land. I mean, this whole deck is Christmas Land, because if you are not careful, let's say if I equipped my Novice Knight with On Sarah's Wings, Prodigious Growth, and all that, whatever enchantment of your choice, your opponents can respond, and in response to the enchantment, they'll just blow up your creature. If they do that, oh boy, that feels bad. It's okay though. This blocks. We're fine. This blocks. I hate that this doesn't actually get the creature off the board. Luminous Bonds, that is. Unfortunately, since Luminous Bonds does not pull the creature off the board, that means they'll still have the wizard type off of Viashino Pyromancer, which makes it real sad that they get to have Lightning Bolt. Not a fan of Lightning Bolt. Well, I mean, I am, but only in a control sense. Not, oh no, come on, buddy. What did that even do? Greenwood Sentinel, not even a threat. Just let me have that. Oh well. This makes it so that Satyr Enchanter can maybe live. I say maybe because I have a very strong feeling this is about to die. Whoa! Hey, it didn't die on our turn at least. That means they're gonna spend mana on their turn. Oh please, mercy! Don't kill my Satyr Enchanter. Do not kill my Satyr Enchanter. Satyr Enchanter's a good friend. Makes me miss Theros already. That was such a, like, looking back on it, it is a pretty cool block. I don't know, I had a lot of fun in it. I loved Ashiok, I loved Perilous Vault and all those things. It's actually, you could probably figure out what I played. Also, being able to play in a format with all Thoughtseize, where Thoughtseize was legal and standard, is pretty dope. Alright, so this Pyromantic Pilgrim is going to definitely smack me square in the face. My concern here is, do you got it? Okay, how do they beat this, right? Like, if we equip this to one of these, this can actually attack, but this will stay alive and continue to draw me cards. They have to have shock. They do not have the shock, so this feels pretty good. I'm going to attack with this, because I think we can win this race, to be honest with you. I think we can win this race. I know we want to equip the Novice Knight, because the Novice Knight can then, start swinging and doing things as though it didn't have Defender. But at the same time, I want to make sure that the Satyr Enchanter stays around. So I equipped it, or enchanted it with Oaken Form, making it a 5/5. This way, it looks like our opponent's on the mono red starter deck, and if that's the case, then that means they're playing things like you know, Dragon Flame, or not Spitfire, sorry. Hold on, let me read this. Whenever a creature or planeswalker you control dies, you may sacrifice a Johnny's Stand. If you do, create a 4/4. Whenever you cast an aura spell that targets Druid of the Horns, well, I promise you I won't be targeting my own threat with that. We kind of need a draw, but I also want to have a 2/3. Let's get the 2/3 on the board. I'm a little concerned here about attacking, because then this means that Satyr Enchanter is going to get blocked, double blocked most likely, and then we'll have a very, very bad time, because this is the only way we're drawing cards. Interesting. I mean, I'll definitely block the 2/2 and the 2/1. I'll take the 3/1 to the face. I'll block with that. Let's see what they have here. All right, so all right. Sure. I don't mind. Let's play this so we can draw a card. Or a forest in this case. Feels good. No, I don't want to be that aggressive. Think about this. We can spawn an army if we just start drawing like our Knight's Pledge, other Oaken forms. On Sarah's Wings here would be pretty sweet, because we know they've got a flyer. They have a 6-mana 4/4 flyer. I forgot the name. Volcanic Dragon, Dargon, if you would, from our red video when we played this deck. Which, by the way, the red deck was a lot of fun. I really like turning it into like a red mid-range. Now, Druid of the Horns here. Oh. Okay, for the opponent, I would highly recommend the next time they do that, they probably, you know, okay, if we don't block this, we start getting we get hit by a ton of, like, hasters. So I think I'm going to sacrifice Novice Knight here. You've been good, friend. But hey, I'd like a 4/4, please. That feels pretty good. And it flies. Oh, boy. All right. Let's... Oh, so if they block me with this, it's going to feel pretty bad, right? So let's swing with these. Let's leave these behind. Because if I swing with Satyr Enchanter and they block with Kargan Dargon Rider, then that means this could die to Spit Flame, Lightning Strikes. Maybe they have a Sure Strike, which is problematic. But yeah, as I was saying, like earlier, the opponent should have used that Sure Strike as a combat trick and not be as forward with their plans. But once again, could be somebody that's newer, so maybe they don't understand when to use instants, and that's totally fine. At least now we know this doesn't die to Spit Flame. It dies to Lightning Strike, right? I don't see their 6th land. We take this 6, we go down to 9. We're both at 9, even game. I block, we lose our draw engine. Nah, it's just not worth it. It's just not worth it. Okay, so now we have this. Next turn, if they... Okay, this forces them into a situation where they have to block, right? Which means, though, that next turn we only have this. If they play the 6-mana 4/4 flyer, that means they for sure have 10. I mean, they have 10 right there with these two, and then the dragon. I'm assuming they have to block because they don't want to die. If I swing this in and they Lightning Strike, it's going to feel pretty bad. I'm just going to swing with these. I'm going to trade this in front of that, trade that in front of that, and their dragon can't even attack in anyways. Or, I mean, their dragon, they can, but they will lose if they attack with their hasty dragon. And if they don't block here, they go down to 3, which means they are in a very bad spot. Wait, I think I just realized I had lethal, because this makes it so they can't block. Never mind. Hey, you know what? We're just generous. We decided to lose that. Or not lose it, but we had lethal. Luminous Bonds makes it so they can't attack or block. Lathless, all right. This card is sweet, by the way. I love this card. I will be blocking this, though. Because now they don't have any combat tricks. I hope our opponent doesn't think we're slow rolling them. I swear I didn't mean to slow roll. Oh, well, look at that. I top decked. Even though I had the other one, I top decked. We're fine. We're fine. Relax, relax. 1-0. All right. Round 2. All right, Kay. Good luck. Have fun. Try not to miss lethal like me. I'm going to keep this. I mean, for us to mulligan to a 1-drop feels a little shaky when we have at least 2 creatures here and 2 enchantments. Hand's a little slow. We don't do anything before turn 3, but oh, if we get to stick around long enough, this looks like it could be Golgari. Uh-oh. Ooh, Simic. So that, okay, so it's definitely Merfolk then. Yeah, I mean, well, it's obviously Merfolk. Unless, you know, Simic decided to play some River Sneaks randomly and it's not Merfolk. All right, so the good news is Merfolk doesn't really interact. Bad news is that Merfolk goes real wide. They interact depending on whether or not they have the Trickster and dive downs and stuff like that, but that's unblockable. Good news is that this flies. We also can go wide if we wanted to. Maybe we take the turn off, right? And then we just play this. Sure, I'm not going to block. And then we go Druid of the Horns. Oh boy, they are going wide. Holy cow, that's 8 damage. And like that, immediately we just are in trouble. Wow, we had such a good hand. Huh. That's unblockable. That's kind of an absurd hand. I mean, we'll play it out, right? We'll play it out. We're fine. What's the worst that could happen? Oh boy. I think either way we're dead. Like, we have to do this. We have to punch in. We'll draw a card. We punch in. We're at 12. We get to maybe block one of these. Comes down to how much they're pumping this threat, right? Oh, yeah. Hey, that's why Merfolk's pretty good. All right, Jungle Secrets deck. All right. And like that, a quick loss. 1-1. Schwiggity is going to be our round 3 opponent. I would say good luck and have fun. Well, I mean, I still will say it, but last time we said that, you know, last game, where Merfolk decided to go extremely wide, double Lord play. We don't really interact with them. Man, that did not feel good, the double Mistbinder turn. I am terrified at the idea of not drawing a second land, so I will mulligan. This seems a little bit better, and we at least have our third land, so we can get to... We do Siegehorn, the Siegehorn business into Satyr. Oh, boy. The Prodigy. Is this the blue? Yep. Look at that curve. The only thing... Let's see what their 3-drop is looking like. If they play something like a Jhin, oh... That's a good curve. I will not be blocking any of these, by the way. I'm going to play my Satyr Enchanter and see what that does. I know they can't block this with the 1/1. I don't know why they would want to. All right. I want to start drawing cards, so I'm going to play this one. Satyr does dealt damage, put 2, so this is... I'm going to leave this back. This way I can block the Aviation Pioneer. I don't really want to risk it losing my Satyr Enchanter. This is our draw engine here. Oh, sweet baby rays. All right. They are spawning an army here. This is an army that we're staring down now. All right. We need to go as wide as them. Issue is, if I play Druid of the Horns, it'd be pretty sweet. Oh, you can hear probably my dog in the background. If I play Druid of the Horns, I have another body that could block. It has 1 more toughness, and then we'd have to take 4. The turns after, though, would be pretty sweet. Yeah, I'll try for it, right? I'll try for it. So the Druid of Horns will block the Gearsmith. We'll block the Aviation. Oh no. Okay, so now that's a whole nother turn back. Yeah, I think we're gonna lose a few threats here. I can't afford to take too much damage here. We need to get rid of that card, though. That is just way too powerful for us. Now, none of our stuff flies, but I'm hoping that we can get to a point... Well, so next turn, how it's going to look is we're going to play Daybreak Chaplain, and then we're going to go ahead Knight's Pledge this, get a 3/3, and this, and then the turn after, we'll do another Daybreak on this. So we'll gain enough life back, because I assume they won't be attacking with these. We're going to go down to 5. No, I just realized we can't do that. We don't have enough white sources. We should have waited. Super punished. All right. Now no attackers again. Okay, we'll just do it next turn, right? We'll just do it next turn. It's fine. It's totally fine. Oh, sweetness. That is a big Gearsmith Guardian. All right, so we're at 3. We're not entirely dead yet. We got to play this. I'm going to equip that. How this is... Ooh, this gives us vigilance. All right, so no attacks, so we have to go 4 across, right? They're going to swing with everything here. As long as they don't have a bouncing effect, I won't be as concerned. All right, all right. It's fine. So this has to swing in. Or, here's what we'll do. We do this. We'll eat one of the Gearsmith Guardians. Draw a card. Because that is a massive card. Then we're going to Knight's Pledge again. And then we have to swing in with that. We can send that in front of that. We'll at least gain health back, right? That's not as bad. All right, so we're back at 6. These are automatically going to get through no matter what. Can we edge out right here? So we know they play Water Knot in this deck. They have Water Knots. They have bounce effects like the 6-mana Sphinx. The Sphinx is going to be a big one. That is a 5/5 flyer that we'll have to deal with. I mean, we just send this token in front of them. Right, this isn't a trample. We could kill it. I'd like to kill it, but I don't want to lose Druid of the Horns, so it's fine. We'll just let that go. All right, so what do we want to do here? Well, let's go ahead and that on that. So we get another 3/3. I want to make it so that all my threats can start doing some ridiculous things, because once they bounce this, it's going to feel really bad. So why don't we play one of these? Equip that. If they disperse us, this is going to feel real bad. Oh, okay. Well, never mind. That's fine. Looks like we are 2-1. Let's go to the deck modifications. So we're 2-1 with the deck right now. I like, I definitely like that. That's a good number. Definitely above. We have more wins than we have losses. Always feels good. What else can we add to this to make it? I mean, part of me wants to drop things like Luminous Bonds and just play like Take Vengeance and just have hard removal. But I also want to play Kinjali's Sunwing, because this card is just really, really good to like make it so that your opponent can't block your threats. Satyr Wayfinder is a little bit of a smaller threat. Plus, unless we have Prodigious Growth on it, most of the stuff can just get chumped, unless they're like as in chump blocked. We don't have any other Danithas. We do have Dub though. Dub is pretty good. Although Dub is the same cost as this, and this gives a better stat line, although this gives First Strike. So we're getting 2/2 First Strike as opposed to just 3/3. I almost want to add Pegasus, because with Pegasus we get to make it so that we get to fly. Do like some flying. Hieromancer's Cage, I think I'd rather play the one of Conclave Tribunal in place of that. Maybe. Actually, no. Ooh, no, I don't want to craft that. This, I don't know how good that card is, Johnny's Last Stand. It doesn't feel that great, so that's going to be taken out for right now. I think there's definitely better. We could probably just play another, not Knightly Valor, the Cage if we need to. Unfortunately, we don't have another on Sarah's Wings. I also want to put Zetalpa in this deck. Zetalpa would be pretty sweet. Also, having some flyers would be pretty sweet. Do I have another Shalai in this deck or in this collection? No, we don't. All right, so yeah, we want to have more low to the ground threats that we can just enchant real easily. Leonin Vanguard's sweet. I mean, I like Daybreak Chaplain because it will, at a point, give us the ability to gain a ton of life if it stays around. I really do wish we had another Danitha. I don't know. Is that worth one of my 7 uncommons to craft a Danitha? That's pretty wild. I don't know yet. Thorn Lieutenant? I mean, just another one of these is pretty good. Siegehorn Ceratops doesn't feel great. I'm going to be honest with you. It doesn't feel that great. I'd probably have the Thorn Lieutenant, because at least this is like a better mana sink for the late game. I can pump it, and I can do it twice, but I guess if I have 12 mana, I think I either am so far behind or I should have already won a long time ago. Golgari Raiders. Steel Leaf Champion is not something that is easy to get. Ooh, this has Hexproof. I think I want to throw this in there. Hexproof is pretty good. Carnage Tyrant's pretty good. Just because we know then for a fact that we can enchant those, right? Like, unless of course they make us sack it or something like that. But at least we know it will for sure like be able to like survive any targeted removal, so we don't get blown out. What else do we have in these colors? All right, any sweet artifacts that we could equip? I mean, I don't think we need a sorcerer's wand. All right, so with that, let's take a look up in what enchantments we have. Or I want to look up aura. Dub. This and this and this. Okay. This gives 3/2 and vigilance, but that's 4 mana. Not worth. Okay, I'm gonna drop. We're 3 cards over. I mean, I don't know how many of these we want. I don't think we want more than what we've already got right now. I think that's a good number. Nice, healthy number. Oaken form. Maybe we can go down one of those. I mean, realistically, like, this could just be something else, right? These luminous bonds. I'm so torn on these luminous bonds. I don't know if I really like them or not. Thorn Lieutenant can just be another green. I mean, just another. I mean, wait. Thorn Lieutenant is just better than Greenwood Sentinel. Siegehorn Triceratops is, yeah. Really just want another Danitha. You know what? I'm gonna craft another Danitha. Let's get wild here. All right, let's craft another Danitha. I want one. I feel like I always am gonna want one. Druid of the Horns. That's another 4-drop. So let's go down a 4-drop. I think this is good. We have 19 creatures, 16 non. Let's try this. What we're gonna do is we're essentially just adding hexproof threats, because hexproof threats are just good. And on top of that, the hexproof threats makes it so that we can actually enchant our little friends here and not worry about them getting killed. I like kind of want to add this, the Arboretum Elemental. It's a 7/5 hexproof with Convoke, but it is 9 mana, and not often will we ever get a ton of creatures, unless we're just going off with Druid of the Horns, but I think at that point we've already won, right? I really want another On Sarah's Wings. That's another good enchantment. Oh. Ooh. All right. No. We've got enough. We've got enough. All right, sweet. Let's run with this. All right, Paradar, let's see how you deal getting paired up with my new monstrosity of a deck. Let's see if we can do some sweet Smorktown beatdowns. Okay, well, the smooth curve of nothing until turn 4 and then prodigious growth on turn 6 on a hopeful 2-3. I don't know. I'd like to have more wins than losses, so I think I'm going to mulligan. Well, that's not the end of the world. We have History of Benalia. Wow. Actually, I just want to draw lands, right? Like, if I can just draw lands up the ladder, I mean, that'd be pretty. We could take off a turn. We could take off technically 2 turns and then just peel lands, right? Because we now have. You know what? Let's see what threat we can find. If we find a 2-drop, that'd be pretty sweet. But then after the 2-drop, I want to hit nothing but lands. I just want to get up to 6. That's the dream right here, right? Like this is the dream. Get Carnage Tyrant to get even bigger. Make it, oh man, a 14/13 with trample. It gets double trample. All right. So we're fulfilling the first part. Please don't counter me. I've been very nice to you, friend. I let you play your Wall of Mist. I've let you have your Storm Tamer. This card is very annoying. Please don't do anything else. Just stop casting cards. Let me do my thing. I mean, they seem to be a little mana screwed as of right now. Okay. No Curious Obsession or anything like that. I like it. All right. So here's another Knight. How right is it to just get more damage through, right? Because that's going to brick wall us for a long time. I'd rather play this, see if this resolves. Because right now, with the way things are looking, they'll just sack the Storm Tamer. I'm sure they'll have no problem with that. What are they tanking on? What do they... Oh, they must have dive downs and ops. If they don't have a counterspell, it's dive downs and ops. Or I guess Siren Storm Tamer would also make it so... Oh, Blink of an Eye? Oh, okay, sure. It's fine. Wow, not blinking my history? Rude. Rude. Please stop. Stop playing cards. Okay, land. Just land right here. We hit land. We know Carnage Tyrant resolves. Tempest Djinn. All right, this is going to be our only turn to pretty much get rid of that Djinn. Land. All right, sweet. You know what the best part is? I think this makes the creature a knight, right? Oh, no. Man, if we had dub. We don't have a dub. Feels bad. If we had dub, we would have already... this would have gotten a pump. Nyerp. Please stop. Oh, maybe they'll try to target their own I can't even do it. Okay, well, you know, we're gonna play Carnage Tyrant. Just kidding. No, we're not. We're gonna play this again. All right, what do we got here? A flyer. I mean, I want to play Satyr Enchanter and get funny, but I don't think I need to get funny with that card. Right now, what I need is a land in my life. So it's blue-white flyers. A land in my life is exactly what we found. I'm going to play Carnage Tyrant. Because I know this resolves. They might bounce this, so there's a reason for me to attack, but I'm not going to attack anyways. I'm just going to sit back, chill for a minute here. I want to make sure that I am somewhat safe. I don't know what threat they could play that really terrorized me. Oh, Teferi. That's exactly one of those threats. Hey, guess what, though? Great news. We've got a very, very massive prodigious growth that's about to be equipped to Carnage Tyrant, which means you can't do anything about that. Oh, I mean, don't counter it. Just don't counter this. Please don't counter this. Please don't counter this. Please don't counter this. Please. Oh! Yes! Oh! Oh, yeah, dude! I needed to kill Teferi because I don't want them. I don't want to punch into them. Yeah, they trade off their board. I guess I could have just killed them, right? Because it's not like they can tug this. Azur's Law of Friendship. Can't cast instant or sorceries? Don't even worry about it. You won't be seeing that from me, buddy. All right, so we have 7 mana. I mean, let's just keep it equipping. I think I'm going to punch this. Go ahead, buddy. That is a big dinosaur. Yeah, I'll trample over for 2. I'll trample over for 15, I mean. I would love to see what our opponent does here. Because even if they don't have enough mana to pull themselves out of this, if they block with the squad, they still... Let me see here. That's 7, 12, 15. They're exactly at 1. But I'm just going to swing out here and then pump the team. Whoa! Turns out a 16-15 Carnage Tyrant is just enough. Just enough. AD9TS. I'm going to read your name literally. And on top of that, I'm very happy to be 3-1 right now. It seems that our late game paid off there. As I said, turns out a pretty massive Carnage Tyrant backed up by Shalai's double hexproof. That's what that is. I'm going to try this. I'm not going to mulligan to a 1-drop. It's too risky. Whew. All right. We have half the combo here. We draw Carnage Tyrant. That's the other part of the combo. And then, well, you know how it goes from there. Dude, that was a massive dinosaur. Good thing they gave Carnage Tyrant trample, hexproof, can't be countered. Oh, not this again. Not the glub little fishies. Every time we're about to have some fun, the fish come in and they're just like, fish are like fun patrol. Like, of the budget and starter decks, they are just fun patrol. Like, were you trying to play Magic? Were you trying to have fun? Check this out. Merfolk, Mistbinder, Tempest Caller, you lose. Oh, Kamena, wonderful. Great news for me. This is going to be a fun game. It's going to be a fun game. Hey, at least this comes out on turn 5. But if they bounce this, oh, well, that's what Shalai's for, right? We'll gain all of our health back. This gains trample. Oh, man. Dude, please. I mean, these 2 are unblockable. Why do you even need to tap this? Actually, that's good. That's good, right? They're using this turn to tap this down, which means I get to do more later. I mean, I don't have to worry about this 1 copy of Water Trap Weaver. Who knows how many others there are, but joke's on you, buddy. Check out this Shalai. I was like, hold on, do they... have something. Like, I was like, they don't have a Goblin Electromancer. They can't counter this. And I know there's no 1-mana creature counter in Standard. All right. Jade Bearer. All right, we're going to take some damage this turn, so it seems. I'm going to let you know this right now, though. Everybody, YouTube, watch as this spectacle begins, because we also have first strike, so this is a 9/9 first striker. We're going to outrace them. Promise you that. Especially when we get to land number 6, then we start pumping this up. What are you doing? I mean, well, let's see here. If they have another Anthem, if they play another Merfolk, then they could start doing some silly Anthem stuff. I don't want that. Okay, well, no blocks by choice, of course. Not because I couldn't. Please don't spell Pierce. Please don't spell Pierce. Please don't spell Pierce. Please don't spell Pierce. Oh, they have spell Pierce. No, they have spell Pierce. They have spell Pierce. They have spell... They do not have spell Pierce, ladies and gentlemen. They do not have the spell Pierce. This feels good. This feels great. I like it. I like it. All right, they don't have the spell Pierce. Oh, hexproof. Look at that. The game automatically does a scrolling box for me. Hexproof, trample, first strike, vigilance, lifelink. I like it. I like where this is going. Oh, I like that. We're at 22. Coming back. I mean, were we ever that far behind, I guess? They don't have a Mistbinder or whatever the +1/+1 to all their Merfolk is, so we're doing good. And, you know, we have our own Anthem effect with Shalai coming down. I should have probably just attacked, I realized that, but it's fine. I don't know why I didn't attack. Oh, I got too excited. You know, like I was looking at the scroll box. Like it's scrolling for I'm not even touching my mouse right now. This is just freely scrolling for me. They are thinking on how to get around this 9/9. I like it. Best part is we have first strike, so we get to deal with all of this. Or pretty much a clean board wipe, if you would. Because that's 1, that's 3, that's 4, and that's 5. That's exactly all 9 right there. Now, of course, something's probably going to get the dive down. I assume it's going to be Kamena. Now we're going to pump the team here. Whenever if they don't do something, we'll wait till after they declare blockers to pump. Okay? Okay. Well, Kamena's going to go first, right? And then this. And then that. Luckily, right now, there's not enough damage. Actually, I want to do all. I want to do like 7 there. And then that there. And then 10 here. Or no, not 10. What am I talking about? I only need to do... So +3, right? So that allows me to go 1 there, 1 there. Dive down gives +3, so that's 1, 1, 1, 1 across the board. That's 3, 4, 5, 7 power. I have to play around the dive down. That's why I did that. I didn't want to get got by a dive down and then Kamena stayed alive. I needed Kamena to go. Also, our opponent could have blocked and tapped. Opponent very gracefully decides to sleep themselves, and we go to 4-1. Revax will be our 6th opponent today. Or let me see. Yeah, they will be our 6th opponent. We've got 2 more. We're at 4-1 right now. I'm really liking this 4-1. It's feeling pretty comfortable. I like it. I like it. Turns out prodigious growth on a Danitha is pretty good. Especially since they couldn't do anything with Shalai there. Now, and once again, I think that was, prodigious growth just makes anything and everything fun. Like, either it's Carnage. Obviously, I like Carnage Tyrant more because Carnage Tyrant's hexproof. But the Danitha has like lifelink, and that's pretty sweet. That kept us alive. It's fine. It's fine. We'll get to a point where we can just overrun this board. I don't know if we'll be able to. We need to equip our Danitha or enchant our Danitha to make it grow to like believable levels of greatness. But let me see. Spells of an. Okay, this is how we're gonna gain our life back, right? We're never blocking this. This is just going to get bigger every turn. So all we can do is try to just lower. I mean, eventually, maybe we draw our Luminous Bonds or our Cage, Conclave Tribunal, any one of those cards. That's when we'll do stuff. But for right now, nope. Just take 5. Then we're going to gain 3. So we really just blank this thing's attack if we do that. And I like that. Let's hope they don't have removal here. That's the only concern I have. Because murder is a thing. Although this plus prodigious growth is going to be pretty funny. We'll be able to like, because then the turn after, if we had a Danitha, that'd be amazing, because then we'd get to do a curve, right? We go prodigious growth on 5, and then on 6 be able to pump this to give it another 4/4. But right now I don't feel as safe as I did the last few games, because I don't have, oh, there's murder. Yeah, because I don't have a certain card named Shalai. Oh, that's a big threat. All right, so let me think here. Let's say they attack. They don't play a blocker. I'd be surprised if they didn't, though. Because we're still not blocking. We're still attacking. Down to 12. Right now, this is not lethal. They are at 1. Oh, no. This is so much worse than I thought it was. Oh, no. This is so much worse than I thought it was. Okay. We have to trade or block that. I just have to block that. That's got to go. Yes, yes. So we lose next turn, either way. Either way, we lose next turn. Man. All right, opponent. Okay, let me show you my cards before you kill me. Stupid Sanctum Seeker ruining our fun. We're having so much fun. We really were. And now we lose 2, so we go down to 4. Doesn't matter which one we block. Whichever way we block, we lose. So I have to leave it back. My out here is that they don't see the line and they don't attack with everything. Like, oh, I want to keep my Pride Maiden Sanctum Seeker. Oh, nice. Actually, never mind. Good game. Good game. Nice flex, opponent. Nice flex. What if they concede, right? They're like, whoa, they said good game. What if I lose? Nah. We don't block today. We don't block today. I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna face tank all of this. No blockers. Thank you, opponent. I just want you to know. This is very annoying, opponent. Your Sanctum Seekers were great. Good games. All right, on to the next game. Gustavo Wreck, maybe? Well, this is 4-2. 4-2 here, all right? Let's end this 5-2. 5-2 would be pretty good. I wouldn't complain at 5-2. Actually, I would never complain, because as long as I have more wins than losses, I'm pretty happy. More wins than losses. That's all you can ask for. Let's roll. Our opponent last game was about business. They definitely were about business. They weren't trying to mess around or anything. Just boom. Slamming down that Ajani's Pride Mate. Turns out something that gets +1/+1 every time you gain life in a vampire deck is pretty good. Man, if only I had a Danitha. Danitha would have been so good there, because then we would have been curve and like able to actually do things and kill them. Oh no, is our last round burn or red deck? No, just be the mono red deck. Be the mono red starter deck. Be the mono red starter deck. No, Gustavo. Don't be the... Okay, Wizards. It looks like it's Wizards. I can live with this. This is good. Well, I mean, as good as it can be. The fact that our opponent has 2 Lava Runners. At least they can only shock or opt once this turn. And then the next turn after is the one that I'd be a little worried about. But we'll have a Thorn Lieutenant then. And Thorn Lieutenant will then drop a nice little 1/1 friend. If they target it with anything. Please, opponent. And plus, this also might slide it underneath any random counter spells they might have. If they play Wizard's Contort, it would be the Feel Bads, but I'd be surprised. Seeing as how double blue and red on one are things that you need to have. So I don't see them playing Wizard's Contort. Alright, opponent. Gitu Lava Flexor. Let's see how you do this. If you're wondering why I'm worried about these, it's because the Lava Runners, as long as there are 2 or more instant and sorcery cards in your graveyard, Gitu Lava Runner gets +1/+0 and has haste. But luckily my Thorn Lieutenant here doesn't fly, darn it. But we can eat that. We can actually eat that. But yeah, our Thorn Lieutenant becomes the target of a spell or an ability an opponent controls. Create a 1/1 elf warrior creature token. And then pay 6 mana, give it +4/+4. I am respecting this Drake quite a bit. Because at any point they could pop off a ton of spells and hit us for a lot. Right now we don't have exactly the most aggressive hand, so I want to, even though it's a 0 right now, if they have opt, or like opt, shock, lightning strike, already that's a lot of damage, right? And then on top of that, there's 4 damage coming in from our friendly lava flexors over here, because they'll have definitely by then 2 instants or sorceries, but this would actually now have to be opt, lightning strike, shock. Please don't have that. I also wish this were like a bigger Thorn Lieutenant. Whenever your opponent targets this with a spell or an ability, drop a 3/3 green beast creature token. Obviously, that's very good. And there's a reason why I'm not on R&D. Oh, no. Okay, if the 2 cards share type, all right, creature land. They don't share the same type, so yes! We got lucky. They pitched a Banefire and a Lightning Strike. I was right about one of the cards. Nice. Unfortunately, they still have a 3/3 and they perfectly pitched 2 instant and sorcery spells. Darn it. All right, 4 damage. Didn't even notice. All right, our 2 creatures are 2/3s, so they both block the Lava Runners. But this is just a 3/3 with trample. Right now, we have no enchantments. I'd like to see some enchantments at a point here. Please just have all lands in hand. Gustavo, just have all lands. That's what I need you to have, buddy. I need you to have all lands. Come on, come on. What do you got for me? So they have a Rowdy Crew. For those that don't know what Rowdy Crew does, it's 4 mana 3/3 with trample. When Rowdy Crew enters the battlefield, draw 3 cards and discard 2 cards at random. If 2 cards that share a card type are discarded this way, put 2 1/1 counters on this. So for 4 mana, you could potentially have a 5/5 with trample. I will double block this later. Later I will. Oh, come on. Come on. Really? No. Why are you giving me all lands here, game? You got all lands. All right, you know what? I can live with this. I could live with this. We're 4-2. What's 4-3? I mean, well, it's 4-3, so it's not bad, but it's not great either. If this were a GP, I'd be definitely not making it to day 2. But then again, I don't know why I'd be at a Grand Prix or a Magic Fest and playing this deck, but maybe I got dared into it. Who knows? Oh, that's a lot of flying people. Even Wind Mage, Enigma Drake. My mind is that of an enigma. Thank you, Patrick. You're going to take a lot of damage this turn. We need to get on Sarah's wings. Right now, that's the only thing that I could draw that would really help me out here. Because we need on Sarah's wings. If they kill this, if they lightning strike this, it's going to be Sad Dad 2018. Or Shock. But I got to try, right? I got to double block, make it so they can only kill 1. Darn. They saw it. They saw the line. Well, good thing we did that because we drew another land. All right. At what point do I just start attacking? I think we should just start attacking because we've drawn quite a few lands here. Did I say the Asian Avenger? I meant the Asian Realtor is here and ready to party. Need some property? I got you. Right now, Tranquil Expanse on the market. We got a ton of planes for you if you're looking for real estate. Because boy, do I have real estate. You get some nice scenic areas of wheat and sunlight. Nice. Sadness. I'm going to pump this. Wait, hold on. Hold. Is that right? This goes until end turn. damage gets wiped off. No, dude, don't have another spell, please. So we're down to 4. This isn't feeling great. This is not feeling great for me. Being down to 4 is not where you want to be, because considering that if they cast another spell, we could also just die. We could be dead, actually. Lightning Strike would kill us right now, because they would just direct that at our face, and, well, then our face would have taken 6. Well, I mean, it would take 3, so that's 6, and then 4 from that. Wow, actually drew it. But it's a little late, but we drew it. I don't even know if I can, like, live, to be honest. I mean, I can-ish. Right now, we can block and gain some life as long as they don't kill this. In all seriousness, I have to block too, right? I have to block something. If they play a spell, we lose. So I have to block over here. Take 5, hope they don't have shock or any kind of burn spell. Or, oh man, if they cast a spell though, I take 6. Oh, no, opponent. No, please. Come on. I worked hard for that. All right. And that's going to end our run, but 4-3, that's a respectable 4-3. I mean, once our opponent's done grieving us, we'll, all right, there you go. Nice flex. Good job. Fight with fire. I'm not going to block. There's no point in blocking there. We dead. We super dead, so may as well die a little more. 4-3. Not bad. All right, and that concludes the video. Our opponent fought us off with fire to end our run at 4-3. This is the stock list that we started with. You're all aware of this already because this is what you're able to get from the beginning of the game. This is what we ended with, though. I did like the addition of the Carnage Tyrant. I mean, of course, naturally, right? I mean, it's not indestructible. It should have that anyways at this point, but it has Hexproof, Uncounterable, and Trample. So you were able to watch me in one of the videos assemble what would be Tron, Voltron, whatever you want to call it, Carnage Tyrant plus Prodigious Growth, which was sweet. And of course, you know, the Prodigious Growth attached to Danitha Capuchin Paragon. That was sweet. Things that I would like to add, I mean, this deck was pretty fun. All right, first off, let's talk about the deck. It was pretty fun. I actually had a blast playing it. I did a lot better than I thought it would. I think we got a little lucky. We dodged that pocket of the meta that's control, because I feel like we cannot beat a control deck with this. If we do play against control, I think we're looking like there's no blossoming defense, right? If we had a blossoming defense, we can kind of make this into an auras, like with a little bit of a hexproof backup plan, kind of like Boggles for those that know what that is in Modern. But yeah, like, that was about as close as we can get to getting this deck to being competitive, at least within our collection. As you'll see here, as you'll see the final form of the deck, this is where I'd like the deck to go. Now, here, it's a way more streamlined. We have the full set of Thorn Lieutenants. We still have the Satyr Enchanters. We still have Shalai. We added more Vine Mares and another Tyrant. And then we added another Danitha, because Danitha made it so a lot of our enchantments all kind of came down like a turn earlier, so it was just way nicer that way. I liked adding Talons of the Wildwood, so if anything got big enough, it wouldn't get chumped. And then Squire's Devotion is another way to add lifelink for a little bit cheaper than what On Sarah's Wings is. But the reason why I like Squire's Devotion is because you can equip it to your Carnage Tyrant or Vine Mare. And normally, you could, let's just say you Oaken Form, do all these things, like On Sarah's Wings to Tyrant, and then someone just plays Eldest Reborn, you still got to sack it. At least Squire's Devotion makes it so they have to use a removal spell to kill the 1/1 that the Squire's Devotion does pop out. And then from there, of course, you'll hopefully just jam another threat to kind of gum up the board so you don't have to sack your big threat. I played this actual list I played on my main account, and it was pretty funny. We were able to beat Golgari a good amount of times. Probably has to do with the Honor Guard, and on top of that, a buffed up Honor Guard. You do have to watch out though when you're playing against those decks, like with a Assassin's Trophy, because they can blow up the enchantment. Like, I gave my Vine Mare flying and then swung, and I made sure to attach Oaken Form, so in case they blow up my On Sarah's Wings, it drops down on the floor, loses flying, but still doesn't die to a bunch of blockers. So this is how I'd go with the deck. I don't know how in-depth, like how much, like what this deck needs for tuning. I mean, I only played like 4 games with this final form, but I had a lot of fun. I went 2-1 with it, and maybe we'll see more of that later in the future. But let's go ahead and move to what I would highly recommend you craft for this deck. All right, and so here is the 4 cards I highly recommend to make this deck work. Now, I try to make this deck and the recommendations as close to competitive as possible, but the thing here is there's not exactly a competitive Auras deck, but I think so far with these cards that I've added personally, I've played on my own time, I have enjoyed these cards and have definitely made the deck more powerful. So up front is Danitha, Capuchin Paragon. This card is essentially what's going to make it so that all your auras, all your equipment spells cost, they cost 1 generic less. It has First Strike, Vigilance, and Lifelink. You watched me equip a turn 5 Prodigious Growth attached to Danitha, which then made it so that we could outrace the Merfolk deck. This card will then enable all your enchantments to pretty much cost like around 1 to 2 mana outside of Prodigious Growth. It just pairs very well and synergizes with the whole enchantment thing. I only play 3 in the deck though because it is legendary, although I've contemplated on going up to 4 so I could always have it on turn 3. And with how much removal there is running around, I figured there is a discussion to have 4. So for right now, at least 3 of these are required, and it's only at uncommon. I think this is very sweet and makes it kind of like helps oil the deck up for some serious action. And then of course Vinemare. What do I need to say about it? I mean, we don't have any kind of like blossoming defenses. Blossoming defense was from Last Standard from Kaladesh or no Ether Revolt. Either one of those, it's one of the Kaladesh sets, and it's a green, it gives a creature, it's instant speed, it gives a creature +2/+2 and hexproof. So we don't really have anything that's hexproof, so it's a little scary when you kind of beef up and assemble like Tron on one of your creatures and get them nice and swole, and then it gets blown up by like a cast down, right? So the thing here is Vinemare is hexproof. So on top of that, it has the ability to where it can't be blocked by black creatures. So maybe like blue-black X, like mid-range decks can't deal with it. Also, it helps against Golgari because Golgari has a lot of targeted removal outside of the finality. That's their main board sweeper. And so beefing this up and then just going over them with like on Sarah's Wings or something, that's usually going to be a path to victory. I only play 2. The numbers aren't final, but I think that the reason why I highly recommend getting like at least 3 of these to 4 of these is because this is also usable if you remember from our mono green deck. If you like want to switch over to mono green, you can definitely use this in there. It's just it's a 4-turn clock, especially against a deck filled with black creatures. And then, of course, Takali Honor Guard. This is a 1/3, like for 2 mana. It's at rare, so I know how valuable those rare wild cards are. But this pretty much blanks a decent amount of creatures, because what it does is it makes so creatures entering the battlefield don't cause abilities to trigger. So Goblin Chain Whirler, Viashino Pyromancer, those cards are like blanked out of the red deck. It's also a 1/3, so it doesn't die to shock. And then, of course, as you know, this is just a hoser against Golgari. None of their creatures get to do their Explorer, so Jade Light is just a 3-mana 2/1. Merfolk Branchwalker is just a 2/1 for 2. Chupacabra is a 2/2 for 4. Stuff like that. So they actually have to use hard removal on this, which I like seeing, because, that means this is eating an Assassin's Trophy or a Vraska's Contempt and not, an important creature. And of course, lastly, I mean, you watched me assemble it. It was just ridiculous, right? This is uncounterable, so it's resolving. Against a control deck, why not, right? Like this is going to resolve. They're going to have a hard time dealing with it. On top of that, combined with the Shalai, they won't be able to settle it. It has to be a clean board wipe. It has to be Cleansing Nova, because if you equip this with anything like Prodigious Growth, even Oaken Form, on Sarah's Wings, anything, it's already a miserable matchup for any kind of spot removal, targeted base removal kind of deck. Control already has a problem with this, and if you can pump this up, then it makes it so Jeskai, which is running around, can't just do the old expansion plus Deafening Clarion 2-card board sweeper or whatever. They've got to spend a little more resources, which you love seeing. So this is also just a good card in tons of green mid-range decks against control decks, and as I said, targeted removal kind of decks. So this is also it's able to be played in other decks, not just this. So this is definitely a safe craft. You want about 3 to 4. I like 3. I don't know how often I really want 4, because it's still just a 6 mana 7/6, but at the end of the day, this card is very powerful and is definitely a huge must for any kind of green mid-range deck. And as always, that pretty much wraps up this whole video. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today and watching the Auras of Majesty deck. This was a lot more fun than I thought it would be. I'll be back with another video soon for free-to-play fish. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Leave a like and a sub. This is your host, the Asian Avenger, signing out.
Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, help us out by clicking that like button down below. And to keep up on all the latest and greatest, click that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit that bell icon to get alerts whenever we have new videos. And if you want to, check out some of our other sweet videos here and here.